U.S. President Joe Biden's administration has determined that Saudi Arabia's crown prince has immunity from a lawsuit over the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. The decision immediately condemned by the slain journalist's former fiance, who wrote on Twitter, "Jamal died again today." Khashoggi was killed and dismembered back in October 2018 by Saudi agents inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. U.S. intelligence believes Prince Mohammed bin Salman ordered the killing. For more on this story, we welcome Karim Emile Bitar to the program. He's a professor of Middle East Studies at the Ecole normale supérieure here in Paris. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Now, if the U.S. government believes that MBS directly ordered this killing, what explains this decision by the U.S. government?
Former New York Governor Mario Cuomo explained it when he said that one campaigns in poetry but governs in prose. This is exactly what happened to Joe Biden. During the campaign, he used a lofty rhetoric. He wanted to mark a clean break with the complacency that Donald Trump had shown towards MBS. So Biden said he would turn Saudi Arabia into a pariah state and that he would be extremely harsh on MBS. The CIA itself had concluded that MBS was personally responsible. And yet, after his election, Joe Biden discovered that he had to govern in prose. He discovered that Realpolitik always triumphed. And particularly after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, he became reliant on Saudi Arabia. He went over there. He did this famous fist bump with MBS, and he didn't get much in return. And this is what's really striking. And it provides fodder to the argument of people on the radical progressive side of U.S. politics who say that Biden was taken for a ride.
Now, I want to explain a little bit more for our viewers exactly what this lawsuit entails. It's a civil lawsuit that's been brought by Khashoggi's fiance. This decision by the U.S. government, what effect could it have on the trial, and what could the trial potentially accomplish now?
Well, this is an important question because it is a non-binding decision. What the Biden administration has proposed could be technically overturned by a judge. However, there is a climate in the United States of showing an extreme capacity to work with unsavory characters from across the world. And it will take a very courageous judge to decide to pursue this matter. In the past 70 years, we have seen the United States doing business with lots of murderous dictators throughout the world, in the Middle East, in Latin America, in Africa. So geopolitical interests and economic interests always trump morality, and I'm not sure the U.S. legal system will be able to put an end to this unfortunate tradition.
I mean, Biden's administration is saying, though, that their hands are kind of tied here, that they can't because of his diplomatic immunity, because MBS was named prime minister, that they can't say that he can be prosecuted.
It is technically true, but they would have been able to put at least some pressure on him. They literally welcomed him back into the club of world leaders. They are working with him on a daily basis. So they have given him a new legitimacy. They were not obliged to do this. So technically they are right. He does have immunity. However, U.S. foreign policy remains guilty of showing excessive complacency whenever it needs to cajole Middle Eastern leaders. And every leader who kowtows to U.S. pressures and protects U.S. interests has a de facto political immunity, if not a legal immunity. The same is going on with Marshal Sisi in Egypt. There are 60,000 political prisoners over there, and yet the United States is still considering him as a partner they can do business with.
Karim Emile Bitar, professor of Middle East Studies, thank you so much for joining us on France 24 and sharing your point of view.